Nightlight Lantern control with Blood Moon is so powerful that I won a match despite having a bugged uncastable card in hand. Watch match 5 to find out how I navigated that mess. So I had so much fun playing Blood Moon and Lantern Control last time that I kind of just wanted to run back a very similar list. I don't think I have made any changes to the 60 of this list. I fiddled around with a number of different things that I could do. I could go up a fourth Mishra's Bauble and drop like a Lantern or something. I could have added a 23rd mana source. I kind of just decided to keep everything as is. Fomori Vault, I'm still kind of on the fence about. It's a really good consistency piece if you don't have a Blood Moon effect in play, but you know, it just turns into a mountain when you do have a Blood Moon effect in play, so I'm not completely sold on it. I think that this deck could use a little bit more consistency. I'm just not sure exactly where I would want to find it at. I did make some changes to the sideboard. Last time I said I wanted to play more moon effects, so I've got more moon effects. And I decided to learn from the last league. I've added a Shenanigans to the sideboard. We've got Molten Collapses are still in there. Pithing Needle's still in there, of course. But the Curse Totem, I kind of decided to bump that up. I think I had a smattering of other effects, decided that Curse Totem was probably the one that I wanted to be targeting. I don't know if that's going to be true this time, because Amulet Titan ended up taking down a regional championship of some sort. It was like finals was Amulet versus Amulet, so maybe I'll be seeing a lot of Amulet in the leagues. I kind of hope that's the case, because main deck 4 Blood Moon, 3 additional moons in the sideboard. That seems like it's a pretty good way to just say no to Amulet. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get started with round 1. I'm on the draw in round 1 versus Ditto. I'm going to keep this hand. It has a natural Lantern lock in it, and it has Urza Saga. That's good enough for me. Would be great if I could rip a discard spell. I didn't end up doing that. I think I'm just going to play Blackcleave Cliffs into Lantern while I hope that it'll resolve. My opponent could have like a mainboard Consigned to Memory or something like that. Looks like they don't. Expressive Iteration tells me that this is going to be Izzet Prowess. Scalding Tarn could be played in a lot of different decks, but EI is really only played in Izzet Prowess right now. Yep, and there's the Darcy. Are they going to keep Darcy on top? They do. Okay. Opponent is unlikely to be playing Forces in the main, but they could still... I don't think they'd be running Consigns. I think more than likely than not, I would be expecting something like Spell Pierce. They are not plotting the Slickshot Show-Off. They're just casting it now. And I'm going to take a Love Tap from this guy. They could have a Mutagenic Growth, actually. Looks like they don't. All right. Well, we've got a pretty big construct coming. Let's go ahead and cast our Mishra's Bauble, cast our Mox Opal, and I will just lead on Grafdigger's Cage. I'm not sure that the sequencing here really matters that much. I am desperately digging for a Ensnaring Bridge here, though. Now, the question here is, do I want to pop Mishra's Bauble? And I think I do. I think I just want the velocity here. The additional point on the construct is probably not going to be as relevant. There's a Fomori Vault. That Fomori Vault is online, actually. And they've got Quarry Steelcutter. Is Fomori Vault any more useful than just digging with these shredders, though? I'm not convinced it is. Times like these where I really wish I had a Shadow Spear in the main. Shadow Spear is just such a bad draw, though. It doesn't do anything outside of exactly Urza Saga constructs. And I'm suddenly not taking left taps anymore. I'm down to a 12, I think? Yeah, 12. I'm going to dig myself into Bridge. That's Blood Moon. Does that help me? Does Blood Moon help me here? Not really. I don't think Blood Moon really helps me here. Just go ahead and keep milling. They get to draw a card here. I think I'm actually going to take that Lightning Bolt. Fiery Islet, I'm going to have to be okay with. Mishra's Bauble, I'm going to have to be okay with for now, too. All right, Bauble is down. Swamp is down. I'm going to play Pyxis off of this Opal. And I do have a blocker up. This blocker is an 8/8 blocker. It's actually pretty damn big. I'm going to pop this Bauble right now. That'll make it a 7/7. I don't want this Bloodstained Mire, and I don't really want them having Swifty right now. Thoughtseize is not great. I think I need to get rid of Thoughtseize, actually. I don't think I can afford to draw that. All right, Blackcleave Cliffs I'm going to have to be okay with. Oh, there's another Thoughtseize there, huh? All right. Fiery Islet is down. They're playing out Mishra's Bauble. They could just try and kill me with this Slick Shot Show Off, and it's super Prowess. Preordain. Yeah, there's a very good chance that I'm just going to die here and not find anything. I need to get pretty damn lucky here, right? Okay, so they drew the Lava Dart. I will create my token. I'm going to block here. Block the bigger one. They're casting Lava Dart. They're targeting me. I'm going to take 7 from this. I'm going to take 3 from this. I'm at 1 right now. And that's assuming they don't have anything else. But it looks like they do have something else. Yeah, it's another Lava Dart. I'm just dead. All right, well, they out-aggroed me, and I didn't have bridge or any meaningful way of interacting with what they were doing. That's kind of what happens when you do that. So we are playing against Blue-Red Prowess. This is an aggressive deck. Pyroclasms are coming in. Molten Collapses are coming in. And I will remove Blood Moons from the deck. I don't think I need those. Now, as far as the other card that I could remove, I think it will actually be a single Pithing Needle. I could remove an additional Pithing Needle and bring in something like a Duress, maybe? I'm not sure. Duresses would help me with getting rid of their counter magic, which I'm kind of worried about. I don't really want Thoughtseizes in the deck. I could get rid of my last Pithing Needle and a single Thoughtseize, and I could run it like this. Go ahead and be on the play here. And I've got a hand that just does nothing. Like, what's the plan for this hand? I Inquisition them once, they play a threat, I Inquisition them again, they play another threat, and then I just roll over and die. I can't keep this. But I can keep this. This needs lands pretty desperately, actually. I think I need to get rid of the bridge. Even like a turn 4 ensnaring bridge would be good enough. I will fetch Shock here. Not the... Do I get Raucous Theater, actually? Yeah, I'm gonna get Raucous Theater. Don't need that. Now let's see if that was a trap or not. Although I suppose I would actually be drawing that Inquisition this next turn. And if I hit a land here, then that allows me to Lantern Pyxis, or it allows me to Pyroclasm away this Dragon's Rage Channeler. I don't really think that's a good use of my mana. And if I draw like anything else, which is more likely, yeah, I've just got to play out my Lantern here. And we continue to draw not lands. At least this hand has a way of digging itself into lands. That's the Quarry Steelcutter. They're coming out of the gates here. Oh, man, they got a Meltdown on top of their deck here, huh? So that means I'd have to play, like, Pyxis. Oh, they can just draw the Meltdown. I'm falling way too far behind here. Just getting absolutely run over. So they can activate the Mishra's Bauble, they can draw the Meltdown. And then this next turn, I'm torn between firing off an Inquisition and having no draw control, or playing a Pyxis or a Shredder or something directly into this face-up Meltdown. No Mutagenic Growth this time. And they didn't pop the Mishra's Bauble. That's really interesting. All right, that's an Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. I don't want to keep that there. I'm going to cast Pyxis, and I'm just going to exile now. Jeez, dude. Can I please get a land? Lava Dart, another Mutagenic Growth. So now they can even save both their creatures from a Pyroclasm while also creating another dude. I have to dig for a land here. That's just not optional. Oh, wow. So if they actually have another land in hand as their last card, then they can just cast Slickshot Show Off right now. And then Mutagenic Growth twice. I hope they recognize that I have to exile on my upkeep here, so they're not going to keep whatever's on top. And they did, in fact, draw the Slickshot Show Off. At least I'm pretty sure they did. Jeez, man. All right, so they found a land. They can Mutagenic Growth, Lava Dart. Are they trying to see if they can kill me from here? So that is 4 casts. So that's 4 from here, 4 from here. That means 3, 6, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, they just got it. They can just outright kill me. They don't even need like the buffs from the damage from Mutagenic Growth or Lava Dart. They literally just need to cast the spells. I'm going to F6 through here, and I'm just going to let them turn 3 kill me. Literally all they have to do now is just cast their stuff. That's it. And they have indeed figured out how to cast the spells from their hand. And I am dead. Well played, opponent. I did not have lands. I drew a 1-lander as my 7-card hand, and I drew a 1-lander as my 6-card hand. Probably could have gone to 5. Probably should have gone to 5. Just decided to risk it a little bit. I want to see if there was any land in there. And the thing is broken. So, you know what? Let's just move on to the next round. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you like watching my particular style of content, consider subscribing so you can get notified of my videos and live streams. I appreciate it. Thank you. For the second round, I am on the draw again versus LakadMatataaag versus Metaton. There are entirely too many A's in this username. So this hand has a Lantern Lock in it. It has Profane Tutor, and it has Urza Saga. I think I'm going to keep this. It's missing a discard spell. I hope to find that at some point. Flooded Strand Pass, huh? Flooded Strand Pass. Let's play Lantern now. That's a Spyro. So likely Boros Energy. Just passing. Yep, it's Boros Energy. Okay, that's enough ensnaring bridges, I think. Gonna suspend Profane Tutor here. They don't want the Flages. Are they gonna take an Ocelot Pride? They are. Plains and Guide of Souls are what they drew. Spyro is down. They discarded a Galvanic Discharge and a Flage. All right, well, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Just a bit. I really don't want that Blood Moon. It's possible that I'm gonna have to get an Underworld Cookbook off this Saga. Let me go ahead and play out this Swamp. I'm just gonna cast my Ensnaring Bridge now. Protect myself against a hasty Flage. Guide of Souls is coming down. Ocelot Pride is coming down. I think that frees me up to grab a Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment off of this Urza Saga. Right, all those cards are out of hand, so I actually don't know what's in their hand right now. And I have Profane Tutor coming off Suspend here. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to grab with this Profane Tutor. I know I'm casting it because I don't want Blood Moon right now. There's a chance that I just grab like a Mill Rock or something. I need to think about how my stuff's going to line up. I want to grab Pithing Needle off of Urza Saga right now. If I end up doing that, then that means that Pithing Needle is just going to hit the Goblin Bombardment. I'm going to be able to play Fomori Vault as my land, and I will go land Shredder Bridge, but then I won't have enough stuff to... I will have too many things in hand, right? I think I might actually have to grab the Underworld Cookbook using this. I think I will. Grafdigger's Cage is a really good hit, so that lets me do something like this. Oh, they just let it go. All right. Pithing Needle on Goblin Bombardment. All right, so that's answered nicely. And now I just play out my 1-drop spells. Okay, and we're good. Flage is in hand now. And unless their card in hand right now is exactly Static Prison, then yeah, they scooped it up. Okay, managed to squeeze out of that one. Just a little bit tight there. Had to dodge Static Prison, but I fortunately didn't see it. So we're good. Against this deck, I bring in my Pyroclasms and my Molten Collapse because I know that they will be bringing in Clarion Conqueror. And I will side out 1 copy of Cage and all of my Blood Moons. I know that they have Flages in their deck. I just don't think that I need to be worried about that too much. I've got 4 Pyxides to keep their graveyard clean as I'm milling them. I have the Underworld Cookbook to help me gain life if I need to be gaining life. I'm just not going to be bringing in Grafdigger's Cage for Flage exactly. Would love to see a Pyroclasm hand here. Instead, I get 6 lands and a Pyxis. Now, this is a mulligan. This is indeed a Pyroclasm hand. Now, what do I want to keep? I could bottom the Thoughtseize and keep Lantern into Pyroclasm, but I think that's pretty bad. I could bottom the Lantern and keep Thoughtseize into Pyroclasm into hopefully Bridge, and I think I will do that. Although Mill Rocks are easier to find than Lanterns are, so I guess I'll keep it like this. They're going to play out their creatures. Oh, well, I just found Pyxis of Pandemonium anyway. That's great. Okay, let's go ahead and Thoughtseize them. A Johnny, Spyro, Wear Tear, Arid Mesa. It's a pretty good 7 to keep, I think. So I'm going to be taking the Wear Tear out of this hand. They will pretty obviously play a Johnny here, and then I will just Pyroclasm their board. Oh, or they can just have Goblin Bombardment. All right, that's fine. Rip Goblin Bombardment off the top. That's pretty terrible for me, actually. All right, so now I need to have a decision made here. Do I suspend Profane Tutor here? Or do I play out my lock? If I play out my lock, I'm digging for land number 3. I think I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor. Profane Tutor can be my land number 3 if I really need it to be. Ripping Goblin Bombardment off the top, that sucks for me. So now they'll be able to just play a Ajani and then immediately sack the cat. This Pyroclasm is not going to be very effective at all. Plus, they can buff up their Guide of Souls, because they're going to create a 2/1 cat. That's going to make Guide of Souls have 3 energy that it can spend, so when it attacks, it buffs itself up to a 3/4. Yeah, Goblin Bombardment was a really good rip. Not gonna lie, that was really, really good for them to get. I'd love to have a good hit here. Could I rip a land, please? Nope, only Ensnaring Bridge. All right. Lantern and Pyxis. Is the theme of this league going to be that I just get screwed by not having enough lands in my deck? Is that what's going to happen? Okay, Windswept Heath is their draw. So they're gonna deal 3 to me off of Ajani. I'm gonna go to 8. I'm gonna go to 5. I'm gonna go to 3. That is enough for just Flage to just KO me. Even if I'm able to perfectly dump my hand, which I'm not, then I'm still dead. I don't think I'm coming back from this. I think I just stumbled a little bit too much. Yeah, Guide of Souls is coming down now. So now they can't... Oh my god. They really should have zeroed their Ajani first, I think. I guess it doesn't matter that much, does it? Yeah, they're just gonna kill me now. So let's just go ahead and let them do it. Jeez, that's ridiculous. They just had so much damage. And that was all enabled by this Goblin Bombardment ripped off the top. I don't usually say this very often, but I think in this game I got a little bit unlucky. The Goblin Bombardment came at the exact perfect time to where I just could not handle it. Okay, and they win game 2. I have not revealed any part of my sideboard plan, but they haven't either. Let's just go ahead and run it back. And we're looking at a pretty mediocre hand. This has a lock in it technically. It has a discard spell in it. It has Mishra's Bauble that can help me with consistency. I'm going to keep this. And I think I'm actually going to lead on turn 1 Lantern. I know you're not supposed to, but I think I will anyway. Guide of Souls has come down. I could Molten Collapse that if I wanted. I don't think I will. Ace of the Crimson Pulse, huh? We've got a reader here. When it enters, discard a card, then draw 2. Oh, yeah, that's the card advantage. That is card advantage. Long term, that's going to be a problem. They don't have much reach in this hand. So I think I'm going to actually take the case. And then I want to play my Bloodstained Mire. I'm going to fetch Basic Mountain off of this. I can cast Mishra's Bauble. I can cast Codex Shredder here. And now I'm just looking for a fast bridge. They played that Windswept Heath as their land for turn. Guide of Souls is coming down. Ocelot Pride's coming down. So this is one of their best starts that they could possibly have. They are just going to come out swinging here. Go ahead and pop Mishra's Bauble, looking for some of that velocity that I really desperately need. I'm going to mill that Static Prison off the top of their deck. Okay, drawing Pyxis here, and that's Bridge, actually. So if I do this correctly, I could be in pretty good shape. So I can slam Bridge right now. That would shut off an attack from Guide of Souls, this Guide of Souls specifically, but they could still pump something else up underneath the bridge, but they'd still have Spyro that they could use to draw into something good. They would need Static Prison or Wear Tear, or maybe some other sort of piece that could dig them into stuff, like Case of the Crimson Pulse. Or I could Molten Collapse their Ocelot Pride, or I could even Molten Collapse their big Guide of Souls, and then just play Pyxis. And I would still be taking a decent chunk of damage. I think I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to play Pyxis, and then I'm going to Molten Collapse their Guide of Souls here, the bigger one. I'll let them draw planes, and I'm happy with everything as it is right now. Let's see what my opponent decides to do here. You know, they could theoretically, I could keep them off of double red for a little bit to make it so they can't cast that Seasoned Pyromancer. I feel like that's just a bad idea, though. I'd rather just find a discard spell or a removal spell or something like that. If they have Static Prison as their out that they are able to draw to underneath that Spyro, then Molten Collapse will actually remove that Static Prison for me. I have Fomori Vault that's about to come active. Let's see what they do here. The ball is in the Hero's Court. Let's see what they do with it. Arid Mesa going down. Oh, right, I let them draw Arid Mesa. They have Arid Mesa and they have Plains, so they can just Spyro right now if they want to. Elegant Parlor is fine, and they are Spyroing right now. All right, so they're going to dump their hand, and they will draw into Elegant Parlor and Goblin Bombardment, of course. All right, so they've got their out now. So I'm going to be taking 3, falling to 13. Next turn, if I draw something that is uncastable, then I will be falling to 9 off of just the attacks. Goblin Bombardment would bring that up a little bit. So here's the question. Do I want to make an attempt at digging myself into a discard spell now to attempt to answer the Goblin Bombardment while it is still in hand? Or do I want to do my best to find a Pithing Needle to answer the Goblin Bombardment after it hits play? I think I want to try and find the discard spell. There it is. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic, actually. Okay, so that means this next turn I'm going to take 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to fall to 2, right? Because there's no way that they can make another creature. Oh, but they have Flage coming. This actually might not be good enough. They have Flage coming. So I actually need to mill myself. This Inquisition's not going to be good enough. Prismatic Vista is okay. Yeah, I need to shut off attacks right now. I don't have the luxury of waiting around. Ensnaring Bridge is down. Attacks are shut off. I will have to let them draw this Windswept Heath. Yeah, Windswept Heath. They are fetching immediately. The best thing they can do for me right now is just escape Flage. All right, they're escaping Flage, and that gives me an opportunity to draw into another discard spell. You know, Celestial Purge isn't actually that bad on the top of their deck right now. Oh, but I need to find an answer right now. I don't have time. So I'm going to exile here. Profane Tutor is way too slow. Thoughtseize actually works. Thoughtseize you. Go ahead and clean up that mistake. All right, and they've got Ragavan, and I'm pretty sure this is locked up. And they give up the Ghost. They really should have cast Goblin Bombardment there. They really should have done it. But they didn't do it, and I exploited the heck out of that. I'm not convinced that I would have won that if I was not able to discard that Goblin Bombardment. I would have had to find exactly Pithing Needle, which is a 2-outer in my deck. We take those on to round 3.
Has your loss to Lantern Control left you bitter and despondent? Try working through the 5 stages of grief by joining the Fateseal MTG Patreon. Languish in denial with my $2 tier and get access to my Discord community and your name in my video credits. You'll gain more perks as your grief matures, like tournament live streams, lessons on Lantern Control, and office hours with me. Once you reach acceptance, every month you'll get a private session with me and can even feature your own deck here on Fateseal MTG.
I'm on the play, finally, in round 3 versus Client 7. This hand is 4 lands, a Lantern, Profane Tutor, and Ensnaring Bridge. Like, it has a very clear plan here, at least. Do I really want to keep 4 lands, Lantern, Tutor, Bridge? Ugh. Dude, I don't know. I think I have to, though, right? Like, I could go to 6, but this is really on the fence, though. Go Blackleaf Cliffs Lantern. I feel like I'm just going to get run over by a lot of different decks here. Are you going to Force of Negation this Lantern? Is the hero over there thinking, oh my god, we've got a reader, folks? I started playing Magic when Bloomburrow dropped. What is this symbol? Why does it have a crown on it? Guide of Souls. Okay. So maybe, just maybe, Ensnaring Bridge can help solo this match. Guide of Souls is immediately dropped. I don't think I want Ensnaring Bridge number 2. Oh, I definitely didn't want land number 5, though. Jeez, man. All right, Marsh Flats. I'm thinking that I'm going to get a Underworld Cookbook with that Profane Tutor here. I don't know if I can afford to check their hand for a Static Prison or something like that. Arid Mesa coming down. Basic Mountain is the fetch. And they just naturally have Goblin Bombardment. Oh, man. All right. No, I don't think it's worth shuffling the land, unfortunately. I think I just have to eat it. Like, I could drop Lantern here, but, like, at this point in the game, it really doesn't matter how many lands I get. I'm kind of spewing at this point. So what happens if I do shuffle away the land? If I shuffle away the land, I draw an unknown. Let's say it's a non-land of some type. I'm still priced into casting Ensnaring Bridge this turn, and then I'm only able to start doing things next turn. So if I draw something like a Mill Rock or, I don't know, like a Profane Tutor or something like that, I wouldn't be able to cast those cards or suspend them until turn 4. I suppose if that happens, then I could still grab the Underworld Cookbook, right? Like I'm still able to grab Cookbook off Profane Tutor. You know, Rachel, let's do it for science. Let's go ahead and shuffle. Because you are right, I do have another Lantern in hand, right? You've had one Ensnaring Bridge, yes, but what about second Ensnaring Bridge? I can't be that mad, though. Marsh Flat's finally coming down. They have Flage in hand. They've got so many cards in hand here, though. Oh, that's a Blood Moon, really? Yeah, actually, I don't care that much about Blood Moon here, do I? I think, don't actually care that much about Blood Moon. So this Profane Tutor could get something other than exactly Underworld Cookbook, because I'm not actually under that much pressure from this Guide of Souls right now, right? Like, they can poke me a couple of different times, and that's fine. Do I just grab a Mill Rock here? And then this turn, I go Fomori Vault, Lantern, Mill Rock, maybe cast whatever else I draw, and then hold Ensnaring Bridge? I think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to grab a discard spell here. I'm not going to grab a discard spell. I have 2 bridges. The only thing that I'm really worried about from them right now is I guess they could have like an Ajani or something, but a Mill Rock would allow me to dig for outs to that. And a Mill Rock would allow me to dig for discard spells even. I think I actually might grab Codex Shredder here. I think that Flage is far enough away to where that's okay, and I really want to be able to... Ooh, yeah! Thank you, Profane Tutor. Another Profane Tutor, huh? All right. So that's fine. They have 1 Goblin Bombardment. A second is not going to do any more damage. They have the basic Plains. They are flaging me now. Notably tapping a Plains to do it when they could have tapped the Sacred Foundry, which was a mountain. So that tells me they probably don't have Static Prison. I'm not going to lie. I really would still love to find a Pithing Needle for this Goblin Bombardment. But I think this Profane Tutor is just that Pithing Needle, right? So suspend Profane Tutor again. Elegant Parlor on top of their deck. I'm not worried about that. They're playing it out as a land. They have Goblin Bombardment and 2 Unknowns in hand right now. Yeah, I'm not mad about this Blood Moon at all. My deck is built to cast Blood Moon, actually. Oh, they're discharging. So they're trying to make it bigger to get damage underneath Bridge now. That's just really good news for me, right? That means that I have nothing else going on. You know, maybe there's a chance that I just grab a discard spell here. Oh, it's just another Flage. Okay. So I don't even need the discard spell now. I'm just going to grab Pithing Needle and shut off Goblin Bombardment. All right. I'm thinking here. Basic Swamp saving the day. Thank you, Basic Swamp. Okay, so I could grab any number of things here. I could grab a Mill Rock. I could grab a Pithing Needle and not worry about Goblin Bombardment. I could grab Urza Saga and do nothing. I could grab an Underworld Cookbook. I think Underworld Cookbook's not the solution here. I think this turn I grab Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment, and then next turn I grab Pyxis. And maybe things will change between now and then, but I'm not sure. Oh, I just have Inquisition, so that's really good, actually. That means I can do a lot of things. Drop Pithing Needle now, and I'm going to name Goblin Bombardment. There we go. And now I have a choice of either slamming Bridge or Inquisitioning. I think I'm just going to slam Bridge. They chose to pump up the Guide of Souls, which means that it can't attack this turn. And Ragavan could be dashed, but it can't attack. They are dashing Ragavan, just for the energy, I guess. Okay, everything's fine as is. I have another Profane Tutor coming off Suspend here. This is wild. What do I grab with this one, huh? Do I just grab a Mill Rock? I'm really tempted to just grab a Mill Rock. I think I'm just going to grab a Mill Rock. Where's my Pyxis at? There it is. Basic Swamp is fine. Play Pyxis. And there is no reason for me to really get rid of this Inquisition right now, so I'm just not going to. Okay, we're fine. Arid Mesa on top of their deck. That is in play now. And they're not even bothering with gaining the energy. So this Guide of Souls would allow them to do what? Not much, actually. Not much. It would mean that I have to get rid of the Inquisition out of my hand. I think that's fine. Just going to try and dig myself into more stuff here. That's an Ensnaring Bridge. All right. That's good. And then I'm going to Inquisition. I will target myself here because I don't want to put the card in their graveyard. They're casting their Guide of Souls. I don't know if that's correct to do. All right, let's go ahead and activate Pyxis. I don't want them having that Spyro. Thoughtseize, I don't really want to draw. I think I'm going to mill myself here. Basic Mountain, I'll take it. So here they can Ragavan, and then they can Ragavan again, and that'll put a card into their graveyard, but they're just off it. All right, that's fine. They're just off it. Rachel, good call on shuffling that land, I think. Really good call. Okay, so what am I going to do here? Same sideboard plan, right? Same sideboard plan. And yes, Rachel, you're completely right. That's exactly what I did. Go ahead and do this and this. Take out the cage and run it back. This is a no-lander. I can't keep this. This is a two-lander, and I can keep it. It sucks because I really want all of these cards. But I think the cookbook is the one that can go, you know, the easiest. But this has Lantern. It's got Profane Tutor in it, which is really good. It has Ensnaring Bridge, which I like. And the Pyroclasm will just mop up this Ragavan along with maybe a couple of other things that they play. Blackcleave Cliffs into Lantern of Insight here is the play. They don't have any way to manipulate their deck. There's not really a reason for me to be playing Pyxis. And they are just playing out their hand. Oh, they can cast Inquisition of Kozilek on me. Is that bad enough to where I want to shuffle? That might be bad enough to where I need to shuffle here. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle. I need to keep my hand. And they found Bloodstained Mire. Okay. They want that Voice of Victory. So Blackcleave Cliffs is down now. Do I just mop this up? I think I'm going to mop it up. Not let them get any additional advantages. They're shuffling away the Voice of Victory. That is a 2 mana 3 power creature that they're shuffling away. They want something better than that? Well, whatever it is that's better than that, they kept it on top. And it's Flage. I'm not feeling particularly good about this one. I would love another Pyroclasm here. Instead, I find Blood Crypt. I will shock that in. They have the Arena of Glory. So if they have another land, especially a fetch land, then I'm cooked if I don't play Ensnaring Bridge right now. So I think I will just do that. And they're doing nothing. This will delay this Profane Tutor by yet another turn. Not suspending Profane Tutor until turn 4. That's usually when I want Profane Tutor to be coming off suspend. But this has been a slow enough game to where I hope that's not that big of a deal. They have another Flage in hand. Okay. Prismatic Vista is the draw, so that means that I can fetch basic Swamp, and I can just play out my entire hand. Okay. I'm at 7. That's not a particularly comfortable life total to be at. I have no lock in play. That's not good. But I've got a Profane Tutor that's coming off suspend in a couple of turns. Oh, well, just doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to fall to 4 here. And if I don't rip exactly Ensnaring Bridge right now, then I die. And that's not exactly Ensnaring Bridge. All right. So no lock that game made it so that I couldn't really do anything. Having to shuffle away that Lantern hurt a lot. It kept me alive in the short term, which was nice. But losing the Lantern on this board, like right now, Lantern would have been amazing. I would have loved that. But I lost it, so they ended up drawing into that Wear Chair. Or maybe they had the Wear Chair in their opening hand, in which case I didn't have a discard spell for it anyway. Do I want Thoughtseizes in over Duress? I could side out 2 Thoughtseize and bring in 2 Duresses. What are the creatures that I'm worried about? Clarion Conqueror? I might do that. I'm going to do that just to test it out, just to see what happens. I'm going to be on the play here. This is a pretty good hand. I'm going to keep this. Turn 1 Thoughtseize on my opponent's 7-card hand. What is the hero's plan here? The hero's plan is triple Ocelot Pride. Well, that's a pretty good plan. I'm going to take your Ragavan. Just don't want to deal with that right now. They're fetching with Marsh Flats, presumably to find a red-white land. Here we go. And they're going to cast Ocelot Pride, right? Oh, they top-decked the Ragavan, huh? Well, that blows. I could Pyroclasm this right now. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor. And then I will Pyroclasm them next turn if this Pyroclasm doesn't get Thoughtseized out of my hand. And they hit a Swamp. Love that. Now just play triple Ocelot Pride. Let me sweep it all up. Slurp, 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 slurp. Delicioso. Ocelot Pride number 1. Ocelot Pride number 2. And that's it. All right. Profane Tutor will be coming off Suspend next turn. I think I'm going to play Bloodstained Mire here, and I'm going to just cast Pyroclasm now. There we go. That was great. And there's Ocelot Pride number 3. Ocelot Pride number 4. All right, well, we know what their plan is now. Okay, so now I need to just maximize my consistency. So I could Bloodstained Mire, I could Surveil, that would look at 1 card, and then I could Mishra's Bauble myself, that would look at 2. Or I could Mishra's Bauble myself right now, look at 1 card, potentially shuffle it away if I don't like it. That looks at 2 cards as well. I feel like I'm too small-brained to figure out how to use these 2 cards together. So I pop Mishra's Bauble right now. I look at the top card of my deck. I don't like it. I shuffle with Bloodstained Mire. I fetch a Surveil land. I don't like that card, so that is 2 looks at bad cards, and I draw the 3rd. If I do it the other way around, I'm forced to draw the 2nd bad card if I don't like it. So I do actually want to pop with Mishra's Bauble right now. That's an Urza Saga. Do I want Urza Saga? Do I want Urza Saga right now? I think I kind of do. I don't know. A lot of lands. I could be drawing a lot of lands. I don't think I want to land right now. Go ahead and grab the Raucous Theater. Codex Shredder is a really good pickup. I'm going to draw that. Let's keep that on top. And now I'm going to put the Profane Tutor ability on bottom. I'm going to draw that Codex Shredder. I'm going to cast Profane Tutor. And there's a decent chance that I literally just grab Mox Opal here. I know their hand. It's an Arena of Glory. So if I can... Oh, I don't even need to do that. I could just grab Lantern now, Pyxis off Urza Saga, play Codex Shredder, have a lock set up, take hits from Ocelot Pride, and then next turn play Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to do that. Oh, I drew another Millrock. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, Lantern of Insight, get into play. That's a Goblin Bombardment on top of their deck. You may not have that. Beautiful. They're fetching with Marsh Flats. This is why you wait till their upkeep to do things. Some people just automatically fetch, even if they have good cards on top of their deck. All right, Flooded Strand. Played it as their land for turn. I know that they have Arena of Glory as their last land here. Last card in hand. I'm going to take 2 from these Ocelot Prides. I'm going to fall to 13. And I kind of just don't want to deal with Flage. So I'm going to exile that. Although Flage isn't really that big of a deal, is it? Like, they cast it, I go to 10. They cast it again, I go to 7. I don't want the land. I don't really want to be overextending my lock right now. Yeah, I'm just going to let them have it. There we go. They've got Flage in hand now. And they're in the squeeze. Yeah, there's that Arena of Glory that I knew about. So I'll fall to 10 here. They'll be able to escape it once, so I'll fall to 7. And I just don't care, right? Go ahead and mill myself, see if I can hit something good. Mishra's Bauble is whatever. I'm going to play that out. I want that Pyroclasm. I'm going to draw that. I just don't want to deal with these cat tokens right now. And that would actually be all 4 of their Ocelot Prides in the graveyard once I draw this Pyroclasm. Here they go. They're escaping Flage. Gonna fall to 7. And I hate to say it, but I think this is looking like a double win against the most popular deck in the format. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this Pyroclasm. Mop up that whole board. I don't want to have to deal with it. Guide of Souls is in hand now. They play it out. Just going to kill it. Don't want that card in my hand. I think I want 1 more Millrock before I start going crazy with these exiles. And that Profane Tutor will help me get that Millrock. Well, now I'm not going to have it, but, you know, it would have helped me go crazy with the Millrock. Yeah, I simply cannot allow them to have access to a second one of those. And there's Underworld Cookbook. Okay, I'm feeling much better now. And there's another Millrock, actually. I think they might be trying to get me on time now. It's just not going to work. I will pop this Mishra's Bauble. Yeah, I don't really need that Ensnaring Bridge in play. I think I'm just going to turn that into life. They can start fetching away Flages now. They're not going to. Okay, yeah, just take them off with the good cards. Stony Silence, huh? That is a lovely card. Unbeatable card. I cannot possibly beat Stony Silence. Oh, what am I going to do about this Stony Silence on top of their... Oh, where'd that Stony Silence go? I thought... Come on, man. Can't be jerking my chain around like that. Yanking my fiddlestick. You got Stony Silence on top of your deck. How am I supposed to beat that? Well, they don't anymore, so I guess the game's gonna have to continue. I think I'm gonna stop cracking foods. Go ahead and mill them. Mill some more. That is all 4 Ajani's gone. Yeah, Goblin Bombardment, you can't have that. Clarion Conqueror, you also cannot have, actually. I'm gonna spin this Saga. Grab Pyxis here. Fetch with this Prismatic Vista. Grab my last Swamp. Even if I didn't have another land in there, I just discard the Vista to Underworld Cookbook. Alright, have a big old fight on their upkeep. I'm gonna mill it. You can have an Arid Mesa, that's fine. That's the same thing as a Clarion Conqueror, right? I can't beat an Arid Mesa. And they are stockpiling their fetches here, which is the correct thing to do. Just feel like maybe they should have been using them at this point. I've got 5 Milrogs. There's no way they're getting out of this. And I think they're slowly learning what this deck does. Very, very slowly. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna exile both there. You cannot have Wrath of the Skies, but you can have Flooded Strand. We are firmly in Zen mode. We are in flow. Any of y'all work like, I don't know, like in the back of house in a restaurant, or I don't know, like as a delivery driver or anything like that? Maybe like as a welder in the trades, where you just kind of get into a state of flow, where everything is just as it should be. You're just doing your work. You're just chilling. Everything's real easy. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say easy. That might be the wrong word. Just comes easily to you. When you're at this point in a Lantern control game, you'll understand. It's flow. All right. So I will begin the process of exiling both of our decks. And this is why I like using a playset of Pyxides over a playset of Shredders, is for this reason exactly. Both of our decks are exiled now, but guess who draws a card first? Yeah, man, that's how you do it. Love to see it. Doesn't matter if you have an empty deck if you win the game, right? Doesn't matter if you're at 1 life. Doesn't matter if you have no creatures. You still win the game. Still win the match. And Pyxides are just so useful. I was able to exile Phlages when I saw them. It's just so nice. But anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting about Pyxis of Pandemonium, my favorite Milrock. On to round 4. Wow, this is going very quickly. I am on the draw in round 4 versus Odin 2015. Odin thinks themselves a hero. They are a hero because they're playing against me. And we've got a 1-lander. Blackleaf Cliffs into Thoughtseize into draw a bunch of bridges and Profane Tutors and roll over and die. I'm mulliganing this. This is significantly better. I think I will... I wish I knew what they were on. Because if they were on something more aggressive, I might keep the Molten Collapse. Just because the life loss from Thoughtseize is non-negligible. Like, this is a very painful hand. Oh, but they're mulling to 5. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to bottom the Molten Collapse, actually. Double Thoughtseize paired with Profane Tutor could really knock an opponent like this off balance. Urza's mine, huh? Okay, well, let's begin the process of knocking this opponent off balance. Thoughtseize you. I hope those 4 cards are really good. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good, actually. So I have the choice between taking Glaring Fleshraker or taking Kozilek's Command. I think I'm actually going to take the Fleshraker. I have another discard spell to handle the Kozilek's Command. If I had kept that whatever it was called, the removal spell, then I probably would have done this the other way around. Just really don't want to play against Glaring Fleshraker. Eldrazi Temple, pass, not a surprise. Raucous Theater, I could play that out. I'm not going to. I'm simply going to use my Bloodstained Mire to fetch another basic swamp. And I'm going to suspend Profane Tutor. Another Eldrazi Temple. Not great for me, actually. I don't like seeing that other Eldrazi Temple. That means that they can now Kozilek's Command for 3, which I don't particularly enjoy. But you know what I could do? Is I could Urza Saga Blood Moon their sorry little butt. I think I will do that. Go ahead and Thoughtseize them now. Kozilek's Command, they're creating Stawns, and they are scrying and drawing. No surprise there. I don't know, I feel like they still kind of have a way out of this, right? They went 3 bottom, huh? All is Dust, Urza's Tower, Urza's Tower. Wow, they must have just hit like a bunch of lands or something. That really sucks. Okay, well, I'm kind of priced into playing Urza Saga now. And next turn, I'm priced into playing Blood Crypt, shocking it in. Yep, they played an Urza's Tower, holding back their spawns. And now this Profane Tutor's coming off suspend, actually. Why don't we do something nasty and grab Blood Moon? Shock in that Blood Crypt, play Blood Moon. They can still easily get out of this, I think. Those 3 spawns are going to save their sorry butt. Expedition map is coming down, and they found a power plant, and they're doing nothing. I'm gonna play out my Raucous Theater. Am I gonna play out second Blood Moon? I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna give this as insulation against something like a Devourer of Destiny. It plays into All Is Dust. Oh, but they still got nothing to do. All right. Well, cast this Mishra's Bauble, I guess. Oh, no way. They have another Kozilek's command? Yeah, this is how they break out of it, y'all. Perhaps I should have just put them in a traditional lock instead of worrying about all these Blood Moon shenanigans, huh? I could have done that. I could have used the Profane Tutor to find Lantern of Insight instead of finding Blood Moon. I could have landed in Snaring Bridge, and then Urza Saga could have popped and grabbed a Pyxis. Yeah, they went 3 top, 4 bottom. They've got a plan here. That is an Ugin Eye of the Storms. That's a pretty damn good plan. And that's a Karn the Great Creator. Yep, that'll do it. They're gonna go grab an artifact. They chose a Cityscape Leveler, huh? Whenever you cast this spell and whenever this creature attacks, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token, huh? Yeah, I think they got this. Cityscape Leveler is in their hand. I think I'm gonna grab... Do I even bother with Pithing Needle? I think I am gonna bother with Pithing Needle. Yeah, I think I just went a little bit too aggro on the Lantern, on the Blood Moon plan, huh? I'm going to swing this at Karn. They're going to block, obviously. Yeah, there they go. Yep, they're taking out the Pithing Needle here. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted, right? And that is an Extinguisher Battleship. That will actually wipe my board here. And they are going after... Oh, it's when it enters, right? Now they get to choose the target. They're going after my Urza Saga. Yeah, I could have gotten a Lantern Lock online, and I chose to be silly instead. And now I think it's too late. Let's see if they can deal with this. I'm sure they can. Ugin's going to ultimate. Just kind of let them do it. Here we go. They exiled 7 cards. Thought Not Seer. Double Glaring Fleshraker. Another Ugin. I feel like they could have exiled more than that and just killed me outright here. Oh, well, I'm only at 12 life. Yeah, they can just kill me outright anyway. Okay, so lesson learned from this. Cheesing out the opponent doesn't work all the time. Especially when they have spawns in play from Kozilek's command. Actually, it probably would have been best if I had kept the Molten Collapse then, huh? There we go. Well played from them. Well played. Go ahead and begin sideboarding. The problem with Tron is that a lot of their stuff has no tip requirements. It's all just colorless, or not colorless. It's all just generic mana, like in this Curse Totem, like in my Lanterns and such. So going heavy on the Blood Moon plan might not actually be where I want to be with them. What I think I'm going to do instead is I'm going to bring in Duresses. I'm going to bring in Molten Collapse. I'm going to bring in Pithing Needle. And I'm going to bring in Shenanigans. And I can side out Blood Moon's Cookbook. Do I want to side out Cookbook, actually? I might not want to side out Cookbook. I can definitely side out Cage. And I might side out like a single Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, I think I'll run it like this. I will be on the play. Not with this hand, though. This hand doesn't really do much. I think I'll keep this. It's not a great hand, but I really just don't want to go to 5. I'm going to bottom a Mishra's Bauble. Yeah, it was quite silly of me to go all aggro on the Blood Moon plan, wasn't it? It was funny. It was good for the memes. Lantern, I'll keep. Power plant into Expedition map. How aggro do I want to be about that Expedition map? I'm not sure. They have another one on top of their deck. That's Profane Tutor. You know, I think I actually might Pithing Needle Expedition map. If I do that... No, I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm going to go Mountain into Suspend Profane Tutor. I think I might want to save this Pithing Needle for an answer of some type, like an actual threat. Okay, for more Vault, let's play Lantern out now. Try and get some information. They just brought in their Cityscape Leveler, huh? They just brought in their Cityscape Leveler. I have Inquisition on top of my deck. Geez, maybe I should have Pithing Needle Expedition map, huh? Try to keep them off lands. I don't know, I just feel like that's not a particularly good strategy. I didn't have a discard spell to inform that decision. That sucks. I think I'm just going to let this go. Yeah, they're just cracking the Expedition map. Ugin Eye of the Storms, that's great. Urza's Mine is down. Oh, and that's just a Karn the Great Creator. They're not screwing around. Yeah, I think I lost this already. Turn 3, huh? I needed a Thoughtseize or a Duress, I think. Oh, Chalice of the Void. Ooh, that sucks. And that's the Filigree Silex. So now I'm just super far behind. Maybe I did need to cut them off of lands. Chalice of the Void cast for 0 means that this Profane Tutor will just be countered. I'm still going to cast it and have it be countered. All right, let's Inquisition them and see what happens. Double Ugin Eye of the Storms and Eldrazi Temple. Yeah, this is game. I have 1 Pithing Needle. If I had 2 Pithing Needles, it wouldn't be as bad. Literally, all they need to do here is uptick the Filigree Silex 1 time and then blow it up, and that will take out my Pithing Needle and my Lantern. And then they just win with whatever's left over. So I am put into the awkward position where I need to put this Pithing Needle on the Filigree Silex. They're fetching with the Expedition map on their upkeep to shuffle what's on top. That's a threat. That's a Devourer of Destiny. That's a good card. Yeah, I think I lost this. That's a Walking Ballista. I think it's safe to scoop it up to all of this, right? Yeah, I'm just going to concede the game. I don't do this very often, but frankly, I just don't want to play this game anymore. I'm just kind of off it. They've demonstrated that they have many ways that they can win, and I just have no way to catch up with it. Here are the mistakes that I made in this match. Game 1, I went for the Blood Moon line when I really should not have gone for the Blood Moon line. I should have gone for the Lantern Lock line. And then game 2, I had the option to Pithing Needle Expedition map, which I know now would have been a pretty dang good option. They would have been able to cast the Filigree Silex, maybe, yes. They would have been able to cast Karn the Great Creator, possibly. But it would have slowed them down by quite a bit. So I think this game 2, I should have named the Expedition map that I saw in their hand and, well, on the battlefield actually, and on top of their deck. And that might have helped me out quite a bit. Instead, I saved the Pithing Needle for a later time, hoping to hit a threat with it, but they used the mana to, create all the threats. Let's move on to round 5. I'm on the play in round 5 versus Polycule 87. This hand has double discard and it has Urza Saga, but it's got 5 lands in it. I don't know if I can keep this. Like, technically, this is keepable according to the published guidelines for Lantern Control, or the established guidelines, I suppose, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling this hand. I like this one. Oh, it's got 3 Urza Sagas in it. It's entirely too many Urza Sagas. I think I have to keep it, though. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bottom the Inquisition. Saga on 1 pass. Oh, Lord, I'm not winning this game. Come on, just give me like a basic swamp. I'll even take a Fomori Vault. And we're facing a Steam Vents gamer. Into Faithless Looting. What are we on? Are we on Dredge? Is this Grixis Reanimator? Grixis Reanimator. All right, so they're going to do some terrible things to me very quickly. And all I can do is cast this Miser's Mishra's Bauble and play Urza Saga. That is it. They're playing a Polluted Delta. You know, if they do just decide to Archon of Cruelty me, then I can cast Ensnaring Bridge next turn. And if they don't have a way to deal with that, then I'm actually in decent shape. I'm going to lose all my lands, but maybe I can still wriggle out of this. Ooh, that's a Raucous Theater. That's a really good pickup. So I could grab Mox Opal here. No, Mox Opal's not a really good pickup. I'm going to grab Lantern of Insight. That is a Thought Scour. And that's Ensnaring Bridge. Do they have the Force of Negation? No, they don't. That gives me just a tiny little bit of hope here. They are persisting Archon of Cruelty, and now I need to choose between keeping this Raucous Theater or keeping Ensnaring Bridge. I have a bad feeling that I'm not going to be able to keep this Ensnaring Bridge in hand for long. And I feel like if they had a way out of this in hand, then they would have used it. I'm going to discard the other Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to activate Mishra's Bauble here. Draw this Molten Collapse. And Shredder. That's really what I wanted here. And I'm going to start getting my stuff set up. I actually think I will grab Grafdigger's Cage off of this one to stop that Faithless looting. And then here I'm going to play out Codex Shredder. And I'm going to play Raucous Theater as my land. I'm going to keep Profane Tutor on top, actually. And we have found something resembling stability here, actually. That's a Forg. Undercity Sewers is going to come down for them. Are they going to keep the Persist? I don't think so. Yeah, they don't keep the Persist on top. You know, maybe I will actually get rid of this Profane Tutor. I would love to hit a... You know what? Pyxis works. All right, so now what do? I have Pyxis in hand. I don't think I need more Mill Rocks. I think I can afford to do something else now. So that something else here involves what? It could be a Mox Opal so that I can cast this Molten Collapse. It could be Underworld Cookbook. It could be Pithing Needle to shut down the Forg, but it's still attacking. I think I'm going to grab Mox Opal. I'm going to cast this Pyxis, and I am going to Molten Collapse this Forg. Uh-oh. You may choose both instead. Why is it not letting me... Oh, that's weird. It's not letting me cast this Molten Collapse. I don't like that. I'm going to try moving to my second main. Okay, let's go ahead and cast this now, please. Nope. It's just not letting me cast it. I don't know why it's not doing this. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. Maybe I need to tap the mana first. Nope, that doesn't matter. Okay, well, this Psychic Frog is going to find a hit here because of that. They're going to mill themselves with this Thought Scour. Let's see what they hit. They hit a Faithless Looting. All right. And they will be getting a trigger off this Psychic Frog because of that. Oh, I really hope this is castable next turn. Oh, man. Okay, Bloodstained Mire is their draw. Looks like they're casting Oculus now. Oculus does make something slightly different. So I will not really have to worry about milling them on upkeep, really, or on their own end step, because Oculus is going to change their top card. I really do want to draw this Prismatic Vista for this turn, because I just need to get this Molten Collapse out of my hand, you know? All right, can I cast this turn now? No, I still can't cast it. Why? Why can I not cast this? I don't know. I'm going to have to dig myself into a cookbook now because of this. Oh, jeez. All right, I'm going to have to dig myself into a cookbook. I'm not going to have you draw that Unearth, actually. I don't want you having an instant speed cycler. Oh, please Thoughtseize me. Please Thoughtseize me. I've got a Thoughtseize on top of my own deck, too, so that's fine. All right, so they're going to draw Bloodstained Mire here. And I have to burn this Thoughtseize on myself. Like, in this situation, I would be Thoughtseizing them for sure. But I have to use this on myself now. Like, I would really want to take that Faithless Looting out of their hand. I just can't do it. I've got to Thoughtseize myself. Take that Molten Collapse. Jeez. Okay, they conceded the game anyway. Jeez. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that I wasn't able to cast Molten Collapse. That let them get hits in with Psychic Frog and complicated my Thoughtseize line, and I don't know. I think I'm going to submit a bug report for that one. Anyway, let's go ahead and sideboard. This is a relatively easy match if I can stuff their nut draw. So pretty simple here. Pithing Needles come out. Duresses come in. Anything else I want to take out here? Cage doesn't come out. Underworld Cookbook might come out, but like I just had a problem with Molten Collapse not being castable, so I actually might want to leave that in. Do I want to be siding out my Blood Moons? I'm not really worried about things like Wrath of the Skies out of this opponent. I think I'm siding out Blood Moons. If that's the case, then I will bring in Molten Collapse. And I actually might bring my Pithing Needles back in. Yeah, I think I'll keep it like that. Very different sideboarding with Black-Red Lantern versus Black-Green or any other variant. I know they're a 3-color deck, I just don't think that I'm going to be able to do anything about stuffing their nut draws with a turn 3 Blood Moon, you know? I want discard, which this hand does not have. This hand does have Profane Tutor, it has a Molten Collapse, and it has Urza Saga. I think I need to be doing better than that. I really want a discard spell. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. I will actually bottom the 3rd discard spell, because I don't want that many discard spells, you know? Like, there's a balance here. Blood Crypt, Shock in. Are they going to Thoughtseize me? They are going to Thoughtseize me. They're going to see Thoughtseize Duress. And this Mishra's Bauble is actually a decent chunk of my consistency right now. So maybe they take that and just accept that whatever they're doing is not going to happen, and we're both going to be top decking. And their top decks are probably better than my top decks, which is true about most decks, actually. Oh, they took my Thoughtseize. Okay. Well, I will top deck Ensnaring Bridge because that's just how that works. Thanks, Ensnaring Bridge, right on time. Look at the top of my deck here. Urza Saga, I think I want to keep that. And let's go ahead and duress them. Unearth and 4 creatures. Oh boy. Yeah. Unearth and 4 creatures, huh? That is a 1-lander. If they don't find their second land naturally, then they're in trouble. They found their second land on the top of their deck. Wow, what a rip. They're just going to play Psychic Forg now? Here they come. Here they come. Forg is down. I can play Inquisition of Kozilek now. Do I want to risk them drawing the 3rd land? I guess the question also is, how much do I fear Emperor of Bones into Archon of Cruelty? That can't happen until the turn after next anyway. I think I'm just going to take Fulminator Mage, and then I'm going to play the Shredder, and then I'm going to rely on this Ensnaring Bridge in my hand to hopefully carry the day. Really hoping they don't have a Thoughtseize effect here. If they do, they're not casting it pre-combat. Like, I feel like their game plan here is to play their Emperor of Bones and to try to reanimate Archon of Cruelty next turn. By that point, it'll be too late. So they will need to find something faster than that. Yeah, that's what they're going for. That's fantastic. Love to see it. Okay, so I've got another Urza Saga. I could just play Saga into Ensnaring Bridge and then rely on my Sagas to get my lock pieces. I am going to be losing this Bloodstained Mire next turn to this Archon of Cruelty trigger. I think that's fine. There's literally nothing they can do about this right now. Bloodstained Mire off the tippity top. Oh, and Psychic Forg is a 2/3, so it can't attack. They discarded Archon of Cruelty at some point. And they are simply choosing to hold the Archon. I'm going to have to be careful about my sequencing for my plays here, because they can adapt this at instant speed. Let's just Blackleaf Cliffs again, huh? Okay, I will create the dude here. All right, it's time to get Lantern of Insight here. Lantern of Insight, here we go. That's a Faithless Looting on top of their deck. I think I will play my Bloodstained Mire now. If they don't fetch this away, I think I'm milling it. But they are fetching it away. This is why we take actions on opponents' upkeeps, usually. As a rule of thumb, that's not always completely true. Like, there are always times where you want to break that open. They kept the island on top of their deck. That's kind of scary. I want to check their hand now. Oh, it's just a Fulminator Mage. Just blowing up my other Saga. All right, that's fine. Okay, well, I will fetch with this Bloodstained Mire. I'm going to grab my Surveil land. Where are you? There you are. I will keep that on top. And my opponent does not get priority here to do anything between when I play my land and when I suspend my Profane Tutor, so I'm not really worried about that. They can persist that Fulminator Mage as much as they like. I'm not really worried. I have a land on top of my deck here, and they are persisting it. I think this is all they've got. They're tucking Fulminator Mage underneath Emperor of Bones. Are they really going to bring back Fulminator Mage? No way. No way. Come on, make it something. Wow. That's what they're doing. This is their out. Yeah, whatever card is in their hand, I'm not worried about. Not, at least not yet. I think I will mill myself, though. Hello? Okay, that was weird. Okay, yeah, I'll take a Inquisition of Kozilek here. Probably what I was going to end up grabbing. Well, I guess I was actually going to grab a... oh, it's a Spell Pierce. Yeah, I don't care about that. Guess I was going to end up grabbing a, like another Mill Rock, but I think this is fine, actually. I'll let them have the Unearth. Hopefully this opponent is tempted into using Unearth to bring back Fulminator Mage instead of cycling Unearth later on in the game. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Beautiful. Yeah, I've got no lands. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to have to use this Profane Tutor to find myself probably a Mox Opal. Yeah, I'll just grab Mox Opal. Where are you, Mox Opal? There you are. That's Lantern of Insight on top of my deck. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, we have an extremely weak lock here, but my opponent has literally nothing going on right now. That's a Meltdown on top of their deck. Yeah, I'm just going to mill the Meltdown. Unearth sucks. Can I do anything about that? Not right now. I don't think I'm going to. Just going to hold this Molten Collapse. Psychic Frog can't attack anyway. Okay, they're exiling my Inquisition of Kozilek here. And they are going to go for the cycle on this Unearth, it looks like. Just gonna try and mill them here. All right, shuffle your deck. Yeah, you can draw an Emperor of Bones, that's fine. Had to lose a Lantern to do that. Sucks, but it happens. This Urza Saga is going to help quite a bit. This will grab me a Pyxis in 2 turns. They've got Thoughtseize now. Just playing Emperor of Bones, that's fine. This game's pretty much locked up. Like, they have a couple of outs in their deck that I need to worry about. The Meltdowns, probably like a Brazen Borrower, maybe? Yeah, I guess they've got a Fulminator Mage now if they want to blow up my Urza Saga. Looks like they are doing that. That's fine. I think here I will actually take the Thoughtseize, and I'll Thoughtseize myself. Just didn't want to risk drawing like an Ensnaring Bridge or something, and having them be able to attack with Psychic Frog. That would suck a lot, actually. Gonna have myself mill this Mishra's Bauble. I don't want it. Prismatic Vista is a good pickup. That is a basic land and a shuffle, actually. Ooh, Underworld Cookbook could solve this problem forever. I think I might actually keep that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that Cookbook. They have a frog coming, so I can't afford to keep even a single card in hand anymore. I am going to take a bit of a risk, and I'm going to mill this Thought Scour. Okay, good. Psychic Frog on top of their deck now. Some frogs poison the body. Some frogs poison the mind. They're just holding their stuff in hand now, huh? I guess that's fair. And we can see that this land attack sort of sub-game that they've got going on is not particularly effective. Like, it's causing me a small amount of trouble, I suppose. Oh, there's Pyxis. Okay. Love to see that. Thanks, Pyxis. And now that Spell Pierce that I took out of their hand like 20 turns ago is finally not a problem. Like, I don't care if I get hit by a Hardcast Archon, do I? Nah, I don't care. It's not like they can bring back Archon 5 times or something. I will mill myself. My opponent has been doing a lot of self-mill. I can afford to do a little bit, right? So here, I think I'm going to choose Unearth, actually. That allows me to give them Unearths, and they can keep them in hand as much as they want. They're not going to be able to cycle them. That's what I'm really worried about. And it looks like it's Hardcast Archon of Cruelty time. It is indeed Hardcast Archon of Cruelty time. Yeah, you got it. That is an 8 mana, deal damage to me, draw a card. Fulminator Mage is in hand now. I guess I forget that Archon of Cruelty does draw them a card, doesn't it? Need to be more aware of that in the future. Okay, do I really care about any of this? Not particularly. They already have a Psychic Frog in hand. Now they've got to play out that Fulminator Mage to blow up this Urza Saga. Like, does any of this really even matter at this point? These are just the dying squirms of an opponent who's more or less in the lock. The hero has lost the day. The villain with the ridiculous getup is now winning. I guess just quit and try again another time, huh? But they're not doing that. I will indeed draw this Ensnaring Bridge, and I will cast it. Polluted Delta for them. On the plus side, my graveyard is very clean. That'll actually make Codex Shredder easier to activate. Persist. Do I care about Persist? They have what in their graveyard? Nothing, actually. They have 0 persistible creatures in their graveyard. Polluted Delta's down. I'm gonna mill myself. I'm gonna see if I can hit another mill rock. I didn't. It's fine. Not even gonna bother making the creature. It doesn't matter. Let's grab Pyxis. I think I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive with milling them out now. Like, against an opponent like this, who's hard-locked so badly, has very little consistency in their deck, and very few outs, I don't think that I need more than 3 mill rocks to start at least activating like 1 or 2 pick sides every turn, right? I'm also not going to bother tracking their hand anymore. I don't know what they drew. It's not relevant. Oh, I do know what they drew. So I lied. I'm going to keep tracking their hand. Pyxis. Get rid of that Archon. Surgical Extraction, huh? Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you keep a Surgical Extraction. Take a look at my list. It's really spicy. I hope you enjoy it. I played a Steam Vents at some point, so it looks like I might actually be a little bit off with what they've got in hand. Yeah, I'll start exiling stuff. I'm actually gonna start milling them, and I'll keep 1 Pyxis up as a backup. Yep, don't want them having a Faithless Looting, that's for sure. Goodbye, Faithless Looting. Consign of Memory's fine. I'm actually just gonna discard this Profane Tutor. I don't want to be dealing with the upkeep triggers. And they give it up. On turn, like, 30 or something, I don't know, I wasn't keeping track. I think they just got bored. You know, they squirm under the lock a little bit. You know, just getting creeped out by the weirdo sitting across from you. You kind of had to just stare at them, watch them, take the top card of their deck, say, discard this to Underworld Cookbook and then pass. It's kind of creepy, gives them creepy vibes. You know, I just don't want to be around that stranger anymore. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up. A 3-2 showing with the deck today. This is one of the better results that I've had with Lantern in a decent chunk of time. And interestingly enough, we didn't even Blood Moon anybody today, did we? At least not meaningfully. Like, I did Blood Moon someone in round 4, I think, and lost because of it. So I think this might have even been 4-1 capable if I had made better decisions. I did not make better decisions, so I got punished for it. But it happens. I think I like the deck. I think I like the deck. I think I like it. It's really, it's kind of interesting. The Profane Tutors are really powerful, and I think that this is the consistency piece that we should be relying on going forward. Blood Moon can steal games, and, you know, some decks just roll over to a Resolved Ensnaring Bridge, as we saw in round 5. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to make some slight changes, because that's just the way I do things, but I think this might be a decent list going forward if you're looking to build a Nightlight or similar list with Lantern Control.
This program is made possible by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to the Fateseal MTG Patreon from viewers like you. Thank you.